Hello folks, and welcome to episode 2 of my new series in 2022, which is all about the Power Platform. And my catchphrase for this is, "We've got this." So the reason I'm using this catchphrase of "we got this" is because here at Pragmatic Works, we do everything from on-demand learning where we have over 70 different recorded courses. We do virtual mentorings, live trainings, hackathons, you name it. And for this year, I want you to get used to the Power Platform, know some of the basics, how these products are integrated into one another. And so if this is your first time at the YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all videos, not that I post out, but all of the other trainers here post out throughout the week and throughout the year. So in this episode, what are we talking about? We're talking about global variables. So this is episode number 2. You do not have to have watched episode 1, but if you want to start from the beginning and build out this application, which we're going to be using quite often throughout the course and throughout the developing Power BI reports, Power Automate examples, feel free to look at the link below in the description to get back to episode number 1 so you can get caught up with me, connect into my data source, and have a lot of fun. So here's what we're going to do. Use global variables. Why do we use them and what are they? Well, global variables is an ability to set a variable that we can call upon at any point within our application building. These are used for a lot of parts of with design, for submitting data into forms, for populating certain fields down the road in extra screens. And so today we're going to take a look more about the design part of it using these global variables, as well as returning some great dynamic content. So without any further ado, let's take a look at how we can get this accomplished. So over here, this is where I ended episode number 1. We talked about the rules of Gallery Club in episode 1. So again, check out that link in the description if you're not used to using galleries. But what I want to do is do some color scheming here. Now, one way I can do that is if I click on screen 1 in the tree view, I can go to my home ribbon, hit the fill dropdown, pick a color, easy peasy, right? Or I could have head over to the properties screen with the screen selected, chose a different color here, there we go. And easy. Or if I know the exact RGBA code with the screen selected and the fill property selected in the property dropdown, I can put in the RGBA that I want. So like 29, let's see what we get. And I'll change this to, I don't know, let's say see what a 10 does. And so we can see the colors are changing. And this is where if you have certain color brands that you want to use, this is going to be a little bit difficult, right? Because every time you're going to have to come in here and put in these exact values. Well, if you're going to use it multiple times, let's just store it in a variable and then call upon it whenever we want. Also, if you are not good at picking colors, you're going to probably figure out that I'm not the best with design. You can go to our Pragmatic Works cheat sheet where we have some color resources for you, and I'll put that in the description below as well. So here's what I want to do. I want to use some pre-made colors that I've come up with. Hopefully the design isn't too bad for you. So I'm going to come over here to the app. This is where I'm going to start with these global variables. There's different places you can declare them, but you're going to see why I declare them here. So with the app selected in the tree view, I'm now going to go to the property dropdown and I'm going to go to what's called the OnStart property. And in this OnStart property, I'm going to put in some variables that I want declared. So I don't want you to have to watch me type the whole thing out. So I'm just going to paste these in here and expand out my formula window and talk about what these are doing. A lot of the times when I do these teachings, I don't just like to say, hey, look at the formula. It works perfectly. I like to do a little bit of an explanation. So what's going on here? Well, the set command is what is declaring the global variable. Then we're going to give that variable a name. I've called mine var primary, var accent, var background. Why are you using VAR in front, Matt? Do you have to use that? No, you don't, but you're going to see why I like to do that in just a few seconds. Then for this first line of code, I'm using color value. This function is used whenever you have a hex code or the name of a color that you want to declare. So this is a hex code, and then you can see at the very end in green, I've put a comment of what this is doing. This is going to be my main color that I'm going to use for my headers. It's always a great practice when developing apps, especially if you write a complex line of code. Put that comment in at the end so that you can refamiliarize yourself. If you come back to the app 4 months from now, you don't have to go, what was I doing? You've got your comments right here for you. Now the next line of code, I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm using the RGBA code, and this is going to be my accent color used for buttons and icons. And all of this is being stored into these variables. Now the difference between the second line and the third line is the number at the end. This is the A value. And this is simply saying how much of the color do you want to see. So if you put 1, you want to see 100% of that color. On the third line where I put a 0.05, I'm saying I only want to see 5% of that color. So now that I've declared my variables, let's go and use those in the application. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come back on over to screen 1, go to my fill property, and now you're going to see why I like to use VAR. Because the minute I type in VAR, all my variables pull up. And I'm going to use var background. Didn't quite work. This is a common troubleshoot that I see and I help other people out with. We declared the variables, but if you think about it, I put that on the OnStart property of the app, which means those variables don't get stored, the values don't get stored until we start the application. Well, I've already started the application. I'm in the design mode of it. So what do I need to do? Well, I could save my app, I could close it, reopen it, and then I would see those colors. That's too much work. So in the design mode, luckily Microsoft has put on for us over here in the tree view. If I go next to app, I can hit these ellipses and I can run the app. I can start it up again, so to speak. And just to prove that to you, whenever you want to see your variables, if you go to the view ribbon, click on variables, this is where you see your variables, but currently there are no values. However, if I come over here, hit the ellipses and I manually turn on that ignition, well, you can already see the background of the screen has now changed. And if I go back to variables, I now see those variables have been stored. So this is beautiful. So now I can go to my screen and say var background, or I could go with var primary if I wanted to, see what this one looks like. And we're now getting access to all those variables. And I can use that at any moment in time throughout my app development. So the next thing I want to show you here is let's design a little bit more of this app. Let's put a header at the top to let people know what this screen is all about, or what is our app really doing. So the way that I'm going to do that, my design technique for this here, and I'm going to move this gallery down, is I'm going to insert a rectangle for the top. So I could go to the insert ribbon, go to icons, go look for that rectangle, which is about 7/8 of the way down. You can see it right here. Takes too long to do it. My trick is I go to the plus icon on the navigation pane on the left and I just hit rectangle. Now when I go back to tree view, you can see that rectangle 1 is now in my application. However, if I'm going to put multiple rectangles in, I like to have a good reference for them. So best practice is to rename your controls as you put them on. So I'm going to double click here and I'm going to call this RCT header. So this is going to be the rectangle that I use for my header. Now the next thing I want to do is going to skinny this up a little bit in terms of the height and pop it up here and expand it on over. Now I want to change the fill color of this. So I go to fill, I'm going to kill this code, and let's say I want to use my var, we'll go with var primary. Looks pretty good. Now I'm going to put in a text label. So I'm going to go to the insert ribbon, put in a label. I'm going to also rename this LBL header, and then I'm going to put in some text. Something like this is Matt's. Actually, I'm not going to use Matt's here. I'm going to go with just something like the Park Inspection app. And then I can just change this over, have it extend all the way across, go over to my properties pane on the right hand side, change the font size. Maybe I'll bump it up to like a 25. Maybe I'll go with Courier New here. We'll center it. I'll bold it up. Looking pretty good, but again, design it to your best fit. Actually, no, I don't want to go with Courier New today. I'm going to go back to, I'm just going to go with Lato or Lato there. And then maybe I'll change the color of this as well. So over here, I could do it in the properties pane and change the color. So I can change this color over to like a white, make it pop out a little bit more. I also could have done that from the home ribbon, choosing my text drop-down color control here. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to show another use case of using variables. We've now seen how we can use them for colors, right? But here's another thing that I typically like to do. I like for when my users log in to display either their email address or maybe their display name. And I could write that line of code every single time I want it, or I could declare it here and just call upon it anytime I want. So that's going to be the next thing that we do. So I'm going to come back to my app. I'm going to put some more global variables in here. Also, as you notice, as you write a new line of code, a new function that you want to run, we chain them together with these semicolons. So I'm going to come over here, put in a semicolon, and let's put in another variable. So I'll come on down, zoom this on in, and I'm going to do something like set var user email, and then I'm going to use a function called the user function. What the user function does is it allows you to simply capture the user who's in your application, and then you can go dot and then say return what you want about that user. So I want to return their email. So I'll close this off, put in my comments here. I'm going to put in another thing here as well, and I'm going to say return the logged in user email. And then I'm going to do one more. I'm going to do set, and let's say I want their actual name. So var username. So I'm writing all this code once, so I don't have to rewrite this code as I continue to use this throughout my application. Again, these aren't too hard of lines of code to write, but again, I just like to make things easy. And these are typically what I use in all of my application development. I have kind of some preset global variables that I like to use. So how can I call upon these now? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to, again, run OnStart because I put in some new global variables. And I'm going to take this gallery, put it up here. And what I want to do is I want to put a nice little label down here at the bottom. So I'm going to take label header. I'm going to copy this out. And then I'm also going to paste that onto my application. I'm going to rename this. This is going to be my LBL footer. And I'm going to do the same thing with rectangle header. We'll talk about in other episodes how we can do groupings of things, but for now, only going to do a few things at once. So let me copy this out. Let me paste this in as well. And I'm going to rename this RCT footer. So now I'm going to take my rectangle footer, put it at the bottom. Going to select my label footer, put it down here at the bottom as well. And what happened? Well, what's happening now, typical design problem, is based on how I was adding things in, they're putting layers on my application. So what I need to do is I need that footer to be in the front of my header, or sorry, the label to be on top of the rectangle for my footer at the bottom. So the way that I can get that accomplished is I can right click. So I have label footer currently selected. So I'm going to right click on it, go to reorder, and I'm going to send this to the back. So I'm going to send the label. Actually, you know what? I don't want to do it on the label. The label, I don't want to send to the back. I want to send it to the front. So I'm going to bring it to the front here. So now I've got Park Inspection app at the front. But what I want to do is not have Park Inspection. Let's call on my variable. So with my label selected, the text property, I'm going to say the var user, and let's get the var username. And as we can see, I have Matt Peterson. And to make this even more dynamic, I can chain together some hard text to be printed right in front of it. So I'm going to go double quote, welcome, and then something like comma, double quote. Now, in order to chain these two together, to bring them, to smush them together, we could use the concat function, or I can simply just type in an ampersand. And now, as you see, welcome Matt Peterson. And I can come over to the properties pane, right align it here. And now I see that Matt Peterson, welcome. And I could go down and change the padding. So maybe I'll go to the right padding, bump it up to a 20. So we got a little bit of wiggle room over here on the left-hand side. So as you can see, we are already starting to use these variables, and I can use them at any moment in time. So the last thing I want to show you, an extra little tidbit here, is what if I want to see the manager? Who do I report to? Well, we have a connection in Power Apps called the Office 365 Users Connection, which allows me to tap into my organization's hierarchy of who is my manager, who do I report to? So that's what I want to show you next, and then we'll be wrapping this up. So over here in the data icon, we see that I already have my Park table in here from my SQL Server connection, but I'm going to click Add Data. And then once I click on Add Data, I'm going to come down here to my connectors. And I want to add in my Office 365 Users Connection. So I'm going to select it here. And in a second, we'll now see that I can tap into this data set. And what I'm going to use for this data set is I'm going to do another global variable. So I'm going to come back to the tree view, come back to the app, expand this out, and I'm going to add in one more line of code here. And for this one, what we're going to do is we're going to set the variable's manager name. So I'm going to call this set var manager name. And so what this function is, we tap into the Office 365 users, so I can just click on it here, dot, now I want to tap into my manager information. And so I'm going to use manager v2, and in order for this, it needs to capture the person that we want to know their manager of. So in my case, I want to know the manager of the person who is logged in. This is great. Look, I can go with var user email, because that is exactly what I need to type in, user.email. But I've already declared it, so I can just say var user email. Close that off. So now it's going to capture me. It's now going to have all of my manager information. And what do I want returned from it? I'll hit a period to say, what do I want from my manager? And in this case, what I want is their display name. But as you can see, feel free to explore all the other things that you can return about your manager. And so then I'm going to say this is going to return my manager name. So return manager, I'll zoom out, return the manager name. Again here, I'm going to click run on start. And now to show you, if I wanted this in here, I could go into the insert, I could hit label, and I'll bring this label on over. And instead of text for the text, I'm going to say var manager name. And as you can see, this is now my manager, Mitchell Pearson here at Pragmatic Works. So these are just a few ideas of global variables. You can see now you declare them once, you can use them at any point. And just to prove, if I hit new screen, just a blank screen here, and let's say I put in another label, I can call upon any of my global variables. So if I come back here, var manager name, come on over, there it is. We see Mitchell Pearson. So hopefully you have this idea of getting the started of basic global variables. I'm going to be using more throughout our application development throughout this year. But again, right away, you got some quick design ideas of how to use these variables and declare them in your entire application. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe if you enjoyed. Stick with me throughout the rest of this year. We've got this. We are learning this together, and if you want more formal training of a course that's developed with it being scaffolded from beginning to end, please sign up for our ODL. We would love to help you out, and I'll see you in the next video.